Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome back to Shelf Stories, the channel that tells tales from games, books, and life. I am your host, Jason. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is part 2 of Dresden Files week here on Shelf Stories. I love that novel series, as you saw. Maybe you saw it from the first part. Again, non-gaming video, but if you are a fan of Shelf Stories, I definitely appreciate anyone who checks out the gaming and non-gaming content. So I ran through, kind of in summary, commercial fashion, what the books are all about and what I like about them. So now I'm going to complement that with a game playthrough. Today's game playthrough is the Dresden Files cooperative card game. So this one came out in 2017. I know, ancient history, right? A whole 3 years ago. Published by Evil Hat and designed by Eric B. Vogel. So this is a 1 to 5 player, fully cooperative, abstract puzzly card game. Not quite an adventure card game where you're going through all these scenarios and fighting all these monsters. They went the simple route. They went the puzzly route. It is hand management, card management, resource management, in a very, very fun, fast, abstract way, with that overlay of Dresden Files, and I completely and utterly dig what they did. So I'm more than happy to show you this playthrough. So without further ado, let's go to the videotape. Welcome to the table for a 3-player game of the Dresden Files cooperative card game. 3 players, mostly because I play solo, and in solo you kind of have to play 3 players. So I have Harry, the star of the show, right here. A little bit of a variant Harry, newly purchased. You go ahead and read the novels to see what exactly happened here. I also have Jared Kincaid, the assassin, and Sonia, the holy warrior from Russia. I can speak with my terrible Russian accent. Oh my god, that's pretty bad. I like to have a little bit of fun. All right, so what I have is Skin Game laid out. Skin Game is the 15th book, one of the best books. So go ahead and read those 14 books. You could have an absolute romp playing Skin Game. So very light spoilers. If you don't know what's going on, not a problem at all. Okay, so on your turn, for the most part, you'll be playing a card. So you play a card, and you see what it says. So it would cost me 2 magic resource. It would do put 2 clues on a green card, and this would be the range that I can fire this off on. So let's say I wanted to play this card. I would spend 2 magic resource, which is my fate, and I want to play it here. So usually not a problem, because if I roll 2 and then the die over here, it may actually reduce my range. Because as you can see, the face dice has a plus and a minus, so that's terrible. But it doesn't really matter in this particular case, because this would be 3 range because of this card. But if I rolled 1, I could easily add 2 clues. So if I wanted to play this card, so that's not a great thing because I want to do a lot of damage, but it gives me variable damage here as well. So let's say I wanted to damage Hannah Asher, which if you've read the novel, she is not good news. Never was good news. So I would have rolled 2 dice over here. And usual, my rolling in this game is fairly terrible. So I would be adding 4 minus 1 because I got a minus 1 on the fate die, so that'd be 3 damage total. And I would have spent 5 fate. Okay, so how do you get these fate back? Well, I'm glad you asked. On your turn, you can take one of your snazzy cards and look at the fate cost and discard it without effect, and you get that fate back. So that's what the game is. Spend card, get your fate back. Harry, loads up a big attack. Jared Kincaid has his back and discards a card to get the fate back to set up Sonya, on and on and on. When you discard a card, you can actually fire off a power. Jared Kincaid's power is to add these tokens. Sonya's power is to kind of get extra fate. Every single person has a card that says, when you discard for FP, ... Harry's card, always, whether you're playing with the variant or the regular, is always most important, which is why you have to have Harry on. So you notice that each card has a range, so they're not effective if they're out of that range. Sometimes you want to get a card that's way back here. Look at that, they're so far away. Nothing has 5 range. So you need Harry to discard cards in order to manipulate the board. And Harry's particular power is if a card has no cases or clues, then he could kind of, flop and switch around and everything. So if I wanted to get this Gate of Ice, which is a very important card to get because it's an obstacle, obstacles are things that you do not want on the board generally. You can win with them, but don't try too often. He can actually fish these cards out and move them closer to the front so that other characters or Harry himself could use a card to get rid of that obstacle. One last thing I wanted to show you. Every character, along with having a discard power, has a one-shot talent, usually pretty powerful. Harry's particular power is to do a bunch of damage to one monster. He can also do damage. Sonya can use his one-shot to kind of pull clues closer. Every single character has a one-shot. You have to leverage that one-shot effectively in order to have even a chance of winning this game. Goal of the game, you want to solve as more cases than you have enemies on the board. So this is a particular challenging scenario because I only have 2 cases, which means that I have to solve these 2 cases and beat every monster but one. Or just beat all the monsters and solve 1 case. So that's the victory condition. You're going to go around and around until you run out of cards, right? And you are going to run out of cards eventually. And then you hit, if you haven't won the scenario yet, you hit the showdown. The showdown is where you roll for your fate. So if you have some of this stored up towards the end of the game, you can roll against each card that is left on the table. And you get a little bonus depending on how much fate you spend. You don't generally want to hit the showdown, but it's there in case the game goes that way. You kind of want to load up fate to take care of that last card in the final climactic. All right, let's get started. So I can pick the first player. I'm going to pick Harry. Just because I like Harry. And also because he has this card. So this card is instrumental. These are the get rid of obstacles cards, or overcome obstacles. So in this particular scenario, in most of the scenarios, you want to get rid of the obstacles just to kind of like set yourself up, give yourself options and everything. This one is particularly important mechanically as well as thematically. So this is a chain. So then... and it's going off of a scene in the books, which is pretty cool. Kind of one of the penultimate scenes is they have to go through these 3 gates to get somewhere. Somewhere really important. So anyway, so you have to overcome the Gate of Fire, then overcome the Gate of Ice, and overcome the Gate of Blood. And the Gate of Blood, once you take that, it does damage to Deirdre, who is Nicodemus's daughter over here, and also puts a bunch of clues on here. So obviously, kind of give up the game. You know where we're going. We are stealing the Holy Grail from Hades. That's Nicodemus right here, but Hades does show up in this adventure. So we have to go through these gates, and this will kind of progress certain goals and allow us to steal the Holy Grail. So we want to do that in order. So I know what I want to do first. It's pretty easy. I've laid out the hand, by the way, and I've kind of intruded upon the board. There's a little bit of dead space, so I intruded upon the board a little bit to give you guys a little bit of I'd get as close as possible to the action. So I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to start with all 13 fate in the points. That's the beginner level. If this was normal level, there'd be 5 that starts at spend fate, but I like to be able to cast a lot, so I'm just going with beginner. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to take Gate of Fire. It is gone. So the book discard is over there, and we are going to move these forward, and I pay for it. Easy turn. All right, well, here is Sonya, and how I have set up this playthrough is I'm just going to be rotating the decks this way, so you're going to see Sonya appear, and the next turn you'll see Jarek and Kane appear, and then Harry will appear, and around and around we go. And I'm also arranged the cards, the investigates are over here, the attacks are over here, and then my quote-unquote useful cards are over here. But I'm not going to use any of these cards. The first thing I'm going to do is I happen to know his talent or stunt. This is called a stunt, and I happen to know it. It's one of those cards where you're going to want to use it early because it adds 3 clues to any one case that currently has no clues and moves it forward. So we're definitely going to do that. So going to leave this one So I have two options, and I've decided I'm going to leave this one back here for now. This was a pain in the butt. It says a maximum of 10 clues can be added to this case. Nicodemus' treachery. So what a surprise Nicodemus is getting one over on me because he's the big bad of the entire series. So max out 10 clues, that's a pain in the butt. So that means I can't solve this. So I'm just going to leave that back there for now. I may not solve that at all, so I'm just going to leave it back there. And I'm going to instead plop 3 clues on Steal the Holy Grail. It takes 14 to overcome. So the more work that I can do on that, the better. That is now used. Flip it over, and I won't be needing that for the rest of the game. All right, here is my man, Jared Kincaid, at home in hell. If you don't know what I mean, then read the books. I'm going to be doing that a lot. Read the books. I feel so familiar with these characters. Jared is now yet another character in the Dresden Files where there's more than meets the eye. So his discard power is he can build up hit tokens on his personal avatar, and then he kind of saves up hits and is able to hit people off turn. But he'd have to discard for it. And there's only one. He can't discard anything worth 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this card. Pretty efficient. Play over here and just do 2 damage. I haven't had to roll the fate dice yet, so I'm definitely liking that. All right, so I think I'm going to want to prioritize getting these over. And only Harry can do that. A little bit inefficient. I may have wanted to use a bigger point card from Mr. Jared over here, but that that's the way the game goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this attack card. I have 3 here, so I'm going to try to discard that. I still roll the die to see how much fate I actually get. 2. Look at that. I'm the master at rolling the stupid fate die. I do that. And the regular Harry, his power was just to kind of bring these closer, but the Winter Knight power is to actually move undamaged cards, either attacks or monsters or obstacles. So he's going to bring Goodman Gray forward and hopefully set up Sonya to do something. Which Sonya will. So I have perfect information. Normally in a regular game, you would not have perfect information. You wouldn't be able to discuss the specifics of what's in your hand. The balance is I get 1 less card. So like in the multiplayer game, you get 7 cards. In the solo game, you get 6. So going to use this perfect information because I knew Sonya had this card. He's going to go, for the people. No, that's not the right thing. For the people. Oh my God, I can't say a Russian accent to save my life. He's Russian, take my word for it. So he is going to discard that and take this advantage, Goodman Gray. So Goodman Gray is a sort of ally, I guess. I mean, you have to be an ally to be advantage, but there's definitely a complicated story behind that one. So when taken, place 4 1-die hits on Genosqua and then 4 and 2-die hits on Hana Asher. So he is going to attack these 2 monsters over here. So Genosqua takes 5 hits and Hana Asher takes 4 hits. Perfect. Okay. So that was good to kind of soften this top row up and get the Gate of Ice a little bit closer. So the Gate of Fire was really, really easy, but the Gate of Ice is proving to be a big problem, and it looks like Harry's going to have to be the one that overcomes it, just like in the book. All right, back to Mr. Jared Kincaid and what he's going to do. We're just going to sweep up all the advantages. So he is going to take a good vantage point, and he is going to take out meeting with Hades. Remember, we were sealing the Holy Grail over here. This turned out in the books to be an advantageous meeting. Could you imagine that? Hey, Hades isn't good or bad. He's just a force, so to speak. So first of all, I have to see how much I pay. I pay 4, which is not great, but what are you going to do? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I say when active player distributes, when taken, active player distributes 4 plus 1 or 4 and 1 die cards among the players. So like that's every single person. So let's go ahead and slide that over. And oh God, I always do that. So then Sonya's going to draw a card. Harry's going to draw a card. And Jared is going to draw a card, which is about as bad as you can draw. Especially because I only have one of these left and I have plenty of resources to take that one with. All right, so as an example of a little bit of chaining over here, so I know that Sonya is up next with a obstacle removal card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Harry's turn to set up Sonya so that he can go ahead and do just that. Okay, so how he's going to do it is he's going to use his talent. The basic Harry would just do 4 damage and take out Hana Asher easily. This one, I have a little bit of gusto over here. It says, flip this card, choose any one foe, and attempt to add 5 damage and roll 2 dice to that. So I could totally kind of fail this. So I could theoretically, kind of higher risk, higher reward, could theoretically go after this person, but if I roll 1 minus, which I tend to, I can't. So I'm going to just take the safe route and try to take out Hana Asher. All right, so that would have been 5. I would have taken out the Gnoshqua, but I did roll that minus, so I'm happy that I was able to take out a card. And yet again, so I am mowing through this scenario over here, kind of taking monsters out, using my advantages, chaining my combos. Didn't take me anything. All I did was use my talent, or use my stunt. The stunt is the one-time effect. All right, we are back with Sonya. So as you can see, I've played this many times. This just the Dresden Files in general. This scenario I'm a little bit familiar with. So how to chain things and how to make sure I'm in position. That's not a trick of the camera or kind of like quick cutting through the characters. I just know what I'm doing. So I am going to use this obstacle, and I am, even though Sonya was not there in Hades, he's going to pretend that he was there. Someone else, another holy warrior, is there apparently, but not Sonya. So then, you know what? I could have done this thematic playthrough and taken the characters that were present in hell when this happened. Nah, that's okay. So we're going to take that out, and we are going to get rid of the second. So what this obstacle says, the player on Harry's right cannot investigate while this was active. So I'm going to pretend that it was Sonya on my right. I can't really tell right from left, so I just declare that Sonya was the person that couldn't attack. I think it might have been Kincaid, but all's fair. It's fine. And you know what? I keep doing this. I should have spent 3 for that take obstacle card from Sonya. You know what it is? I'm used to playing the app. The app is excellent, and it takes care of all that stuff for me. I promise, guys, I'm going to be a little bit better about that coming forward. Okay, so easy turn. This isn't going to be all that impactful, but I need to get rid of this. Doesn't do anything right now, and I have cards in other people's hands to take this last Gate of Blood, so I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get 1 back, but more importantly, I'm going to be able to fill Jared with a fire token so that he can deliver a hit outside of his turn, or inside of his turn, like a supplemental hit. All right, so what I really want to do is I want to take this big, fat Rexus Mundus, pow, and hit Deirdre right in the face so I can get her in range so that the Gate of Blood action would take her out. The Gate of Blood action says double the number of hits on Deirdre. So I want to get to 5 so that the 10 hits will take her out. However, I only have 3 fate. Can't do it. So I'm going to make an executive decision and say that I think that I'm going to work on just this and take out the rest of the monsters. I have Jared, who has some firepower there, and he has attacks cards left. So I'm going to decide, and it's a good thing to decide relatively, like kind of, at least not until, don't leave it till the end of the game. I'm going to decide that I'm going to keep this one out. So I'm going to take this card. Also helps that it's very, very big and fat and has terrible range. And I'm going to discard it for fate. So I get 5 plus 1, 6. Oh, yeah. About time I had a good roll out of that. And let's get this Gate of Blood thing a little bit closer. Come a little closer. All right, we are back to Sonya, the Holy Warrior, the Agnostic Knight. Not going to attempt that Russian accent again. I think that's going to go well. Okay, so doing a little bit of calculation over here. So this is 5. I want to get to 8 over here because taking the Gate of Blood is I get to add 6 clues to the Holy Grail. So it's like almost like, if I kind of work on the Holy Grail a little bit, once I pass this Gate of Blood, it'll just be like right there. It's like, wow, Holy Grail. I want it. So a little bit of an inefficient play, but I think it'll get me what I want. So I get to spend 4 clues. I get to make 3 hits. Not going to roll because the range is plenty in range. So, see. Perfect. All right, we are getting into the mid game over here. So his specialty is definitely attacking, and I have to take out all 4 of these if I decided to keep this one around. So I definitely want to pump in some damage. But what he's going to do is he is going to discard. So he's going to take this card. So I've already decided not going to use a lot of investigate. Discard it and then get back 5. And get another hit token because he wants to load the bear. All right, now you see that was very much set up. Kincaid is like, I see an opening. Go take her out. And he's like, yes, Rexus. Monday, pow! Go ahead and discard that. Hopefully I do not roll 2 minuses. That would make me really sad. Oh. I've done that before. Rolled the 2 minuses, the worst possible thing. So this would normally be 4, but I'm actually going to spend a hit token over here to make that 5 hits, which is perfection. All right, Sonya over here. Makes me a little sad to do this because this is such an awesome card. So it is 5 fate. You do 4 damage to something at 3 range, which is, about average for a 3 range. But overcome 1 obstacle, take 1 advantage adjacent to the case. This is an excellent card. However, not going for this. So this is just FP, fate points. So then I'm going to get the 5 back that I spent. And Sonya's power, his talent, is that he gets 1 extra. All right, so once again, because I have perfect information, I'm going to set up a little bit of a combo between a 2-man game between Jared and Sonya over here. So my man's talent is I can flip over this card to place 3 hits on a foe that has at least 1 hit on it, so it'll be the Genosqua, and then swap that location with another foe. So kind of making the enemies do a little bit of do-si-do. I'm doing that to get this guy into range 1 so that Sonya can hit him with his little card over there. So he can do it anyway, but it is definitely want to be able to do something with that 2-hit card. So he's going to use it. Pow! Isolate and eliminate. Genosqua, you are in my sights. So we are going to, doesn't cost me any talent, and I've used all 3 of my talent, which is definitely very important in this game. I'm going to flip these 2 guys and add 3 hits. Right there, Genosqua, you are almost dead. All right, Harry is back, and he has wants to cast more magic. He wants to kick some more butt. So the other reason why I took this guy out of the row and I left a nice clean sheet of baddies over there is he wants to cast Infriga. Yes. Choose 1 row. Counting from the closest range, add 3 hits to you and 2 hits to you. I like the sound of that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and because I've Kincaid's thing over here, I can add another hit over there. Almost out of hits over there, but they are being put to good use. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so we are going to use this setup that Kincaid gave to Sonya, which is to use his 2-hit card, very efficient card. Hopefully it's efficient if I can roll the fate that agrees with me. Ugh. Anyway, that happens. So I spend 3 and I eliminate the Genosqua. Bye-bye, Yeti. Oh, no. Bye. Okay, I can move this along. And now my Gate of Blood, which was all the way back here at the start, has made it up to the front. Jared Kincaid, the assassin, is back. He has returned. He is ready to take out some more creatures, but he is going to bide his time and build up more ammo in his reserve. So what he's going to do, he's going to take this card. This card is not very efficient. Sort of. If I rolled a 3, it would be like 3 fate for 3 hits, but I might not roll a 3. Let's go. And it's 4 range. Like that's one of his powers is that he just attacks at longer range because he's an assassin. Nothing at 4 range. I'm not missing this card too much. So we're gonna roll. Hopefully it's a nice big fat 5. It's 4. So I'm gonna get 4 fate back and add a hit onto his card. You guys see my obvious move, right? When I pulled this card, I made fun of it. But in the back of my mind, I was saying, you know what, let me hold on to it. I might be able to bring the Gate of Blood over. I have brought the Gate of Blood over. So, Obscurata. I'm going to take 1 advantage, which will be the Gate of Blood. All right. So, I overcame the Gate of Ice, so I don't have to worry about that. Double the number of hits on Deirdre and add 6 clues to steal the Holy Grail. Look at that. So let's put that over here. Double the hits on Deirdre. 5 becomes 10. She is a goner. Bye. And I have 8 over here. Plus 6 is 14. I have murdered Deirdre and stolen the Holy Grail, and now it's time to escape these last 2, Nicodemus and Tessa, husband and wife. They are enraged. They thought that they were going to get one over on me, but Harry says, I have different plan. I have been working to steal the Holy Grail from you the entire time, so let's go on the run, which, by the way, is very, very akin to what happens in the book, which is why I love this game. Woohoo! Ooh, once again, I should have paid the fake cost for that. When I go into editing, I'm going to make sure that all the fake cost stuff was balanced. Hopefully that worked out. Okay, I think that my next move is obvious, so I'm going to brandish my Kalashnikov and go after one of these 2 over here. I don't know if it matters too much. Nicodemus is close to the death, so I'm going to go after Nicodemus. Let's go. So it would do 4 damage, depending on the fate dice. Murder! Yeah! I had a hit from Kincaid to back me up, but I managed to nail that roll. I did 6 damage to Nicodemus. No! I'll come back in the 20th book. No! He will. He will be back in the 20th book. He's been in there, book 5, book 10, book 15, and he'll be back for book 20, which should be the final one in the series. And let's go ahead and pay for that. The assassin is back, and I am looking at this game and going, wow, this game ended up really good for my purposes. All right, so I'm going to use this card. It's a little bit of an inefficient card. So this card says I had 3 hits to foes in both rows, which I really could have used, but I feel like I used my other cards very efficiently, so I'm just going to use this. This is an automatic 3 damage, and with the covering fire on here, it is 4. So that takes her to 6 damage, 3 left. All right, so these last 2 turns, or last 3 turns, I have 3 cards left. Should be pretty simple. So I can discard this for some fate. I'm actually just going to burn through it because I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So that's 4 fate, and that means that Harry is out of cards. He could only pass turn. You can pass turn by spending a fate and not ending the game or like triggering the showdown or anything. I don't need to do that. Okay, so we're just going to take this guy out of here. He is gone. Sonia has 1 card left. He is also going to discard it and get back 2 fate. And then Kincaid steps up to the plate with his final card, which unfortunately only does 2 damage. So we're going to roll the fate dice. Hopefully we roll low. Oh, I shouldn't complain anyway. It's going to cost him 4 fate, but he is going to do 2 damage to Deirdre. She has 1 left. 1 hit point left. I can't believe it. She is hanging on, or not Deirdre, Tessa. Tessa, Nicodemus' wife, is holding on for dear life. Her chitinous body is dripping with goo. She has missing 4 of her 6 legs, and she's crawling to the gate of hell, trying to get to me at the Michael's house. Oh my goodness! So I made it all the way out of hell, and I made it to my friend Michael Carpenter's house. And Tessa has shown up like that bad guy in Die Hard. She's barely alive, carrying a Kalashnikov and ready to do some damage to me. Let's see what happens. All right, so we are at the showdown of Skin Game. I've made it through hell really, really effectively. I stole the Holy Grail. I took care of all of Nicodemus' minions, as well as Nicodemus himself, who will be back in the 20th book. And Tessa, for her own reasons, has split from Nicodemus and wants to, with her dying breath, get me at Michael's house, which in the books is a spectacular battle, if I could say so myself. Dresden kind of specializes in like those big set piece battles. Definitely made for some kind of movie or something. Anyway, so it says that I can foes with hits, cases with clues. So if this had clues, I could be able to roll on it, which is how you get past the 10 maximum threshold to 12. But I can't deal with that. I can only try to kill Tessa. This would be a disaster if I did not hit this roll. Let me get rid of those. So I have 3 fate, which it says that I can spend. I'm going to spend this 3 fate. And I have 3 hits, so normally I would be able to just knock Tessa down because she only needs 1 left. She has 8 damage and she has 9 hits. But if I roll 3 negatives on 6 of the dice without rolling any positives, then I would be out. So when I roll 4, then I'm going to roll 2 more to accomplish the 6. Oh, no! Oh, no! That's terrible. Look at that. Let's see if I can make it up with 1 positive on these last 2. Oh my God. Oh, no. Wow, I can't believe that happened. So that is 4 negatives and 1 positive. So that makes -3 total. So I do 0 damage to Tessa, which means I lose this game. I could have definitely done something different. I can go back in the playthrough and make sure that I had the hit point, the just the extra bit of firepower to get rid of Tessa. I did not have to go to the showdown where I got completely hosed by the dice. I rolled 4 negatives and 1 positive. So Tessa, I don't know what she did exactly. She certainly didn't make an impression over there, but she managed to escape, and she is going to fight me another day. So that's really crazy. Lesson to be learned there. Try to avoid the showdown at all costs in your games. That was a playthrough of the Dresden Files cooperative card game, as you see right up here. This is definitely one of my favorite games. It's been a couple of years, and I'm still playing this game pretty frequently, both in app and physical form. This is Jason reminding you that if you can change your mind, you can change the world. Until next time, later, everybody.